JBN, we keep you informed. Woman's body with throat cut found in Trelawney. The Trelawney Police Division recorded its first murder since the start of the year, following the gruesome discovery of an unidentified woman, believed to be in her early 20s, whose blood-drenched body was found in an isolated area with the throat slit on Saturday morning. Last year, 30 murders were recorded in the parish. Police report that about 7 a.m., they were summoned to an isolated section of Duncan's Bay after a passerby discovered the body. Upon their arrival, the police found the bloody body near a dirt track. The cops disclosed that the body, which was clad in a peach sweater, white top, pink belt, cream jeans pants, and black leather slippers, is of a dark complexion and about 5 feet 4 inches tall. The body was also adorned with a gold-looking snake chain around the neck and gold-looking bracelet around one of the arms. Command of the Trelawney Police Division, Superintendent Kirk Ricketts, gave an assurance that his team will be working around the clock to not only identify the deceased, but bring the perpetrator or perpetrators to justice. In spite of the fact that we are not aware of her identity, I'd want to assure the community that we will leave no stones unturned to one, identify her, and then identify who is to be blamed for carrying out such a gruesome act, Ricketts said at the crime scene. He said that the latest killing comes at a time when the nation is still grappling with the gruesome murders of 2 women in separate incidents since the start of the year. Earlier this month, 27-year-old Nevia Sinclair of Brinkley, close to Nain in southeast St. Elizabeth, became the first murder victim in St. Elizabeth for 2020. She was allegedly stabbed to death by her ex-boyfriend at her home about 10:50 p.m. last Sunday. That came shortly after 35-year-old Jamaica Defense Force Corporal Dorian Mackenzie had killed his common-law wife, 34-year-old Sue Easy, before turning the gun on himself in Portmore, St. Catherine. Vehicle hits bicycle, killing 2 in Portmore. 2 people were riding on a bicycle, died from injuries sustained when they were hit by a motor vehicle on George Lee Boulevard in Portsmouth, St. Catherine yesterday morning. Dead are 36-year-old Kevin Smith, a laborer of 4 West Greater Portmore in the parish, and Sandra Robinson of a Waterford address also in the parish. Reports from the Waterford police are that about 4:45 a.m., Robinson was being transported by Smith, who was riding a bicycle in a northerly direction, when a Toyota Fortuner, which was traveling in the same direction, collided with the rear of the bicycle. Smith and Robinson sustained injuries and were taken to the hospital, where they were pronounced dead. The driver of the motor vehicle was arrested, the police said. The portee, attempted murder convict, said involved in cop's injury by taxi. The police say the man wanted in connection with an incident where a cop was mowed down by a taxi in Kingston last week was a deportee from the United States who was convicted for attempted murder. The officer was injured on duty at the intersection of Trafalgar Road and Worthington Avenue in St. Andrew after he signaled the taxi to stop. The taxi driver disobeyed the cop's orders, mowed him down, and sped away. The vehicle was found abandoned a short while after the incident, after it was identified using Jamaica Eye technology. 2 arrested following gun seizure. 2 people arrested following the seizure of a Glock pistol fitted with a magazine containing 8 9mm rounds of ammunition in Jumptown District, Hopewell, in Anova yesterday. Police reports are that between the hours of 5:30 a.m. and 9 a.m., the police were on an operation in the area. While approaching a house, the lawmen reportedly observed a gun being thrown through the window. The weapon was seized, and a man and a woman who occupied the premises were subsequently taken into custody, the police said. Their identities are being withheld. PM shocked at use of non-disclosure agreements at CMU. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has said that he's shocked that non-disclosure agreements would be used at the level of a board. The Prime Minister was responding to a question by Television Jamaica's Andrea Chisholm during yesterday's press conference at Jamaica House to announce the imposition of a state of emergency for East Kingston. Chisholm asked Holness whether he was aware of the non-disclosure agreements signed by the 23-member council governing the Caribbean Maritime University, CMU. The agreements were signed by the council members after meeting for the first time in 8 months. During the period when the board did not meet, the university had executed contracts totaling $200 million. Holness says he will be seriously looking into the matter. That is most unusual, and I'll have to take advice as to whether that is permissible, and I'll be doing so on Monday, he told journalists gathered at Jamaica House on Sunday morning. He says he will be discussing the matter at Cabinet on Monday. Dr. Grace McLean, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, said that the agreement is a part of the governance framework. She said it is included on a framework checklist the ministry introduced during the legislative year along with a declaration of interest form. And responding to whether he had knowledge of the content of the Auditor General's report on operations at the CMU before its tabling, the Prime Minister said that while he was aware of the draft report from August, but he was never given access to the report until a few days ago, he said his Permanent Secretary maintained an embargo on the report. Short police applicants can apply to Commissioner for Waiver, says Lindsay. Disappointment was etched on the faces of scores of recruits who showed up for the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF enlistment drive but were turned away last Saturday because they did not meet the height or qualifications requirements. However, head of the JCF's Corporate Communications Unit, Stephanie Lindsay, said as it relates to the height and weight criteria, if persons believe they have a case, they can write for a consideration for a waiver. They have an option to apply to the Commissioner of Police seeking a waiver. The only thing they will consider for the waiver is just the height and the weight. When it comes to the qualification standard, there is no waiver on that. As it relates to City and Guilds for English language, they will accept City and Guilds. But what they say is that City and Guilds has 4 components: writing, reading, speaking, and listening. So that makes it a complete test. So they will say what they will find is that some persons will just have parts of it, like they have done just 1 or 2 components. So if you don't have CXC or the GCE English, then they will take the City and Guilds for persons who have all the components. 1,039 persons sat the exam on Saturday. So they are still marking to see how many of those were successful, said Lindsay, in an effort to increase its complement to 18,000 members by 2024. The first recruitment drive of 2020 started at 8 a.m. at the National Police College of Jamaica at Twickenham Park in St. Catherine. The JCF currently has approximately 12,000 members. All applicants must have a minimum of 4 Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate CSEC subjects, which must include English language. Male applicants must be at least 5 feet 7 inches in height, with a minimum weight of 135 pounds. For females, they must be at least 5 feet 5 inches and weigh at least 125 pounds. Last August, it was reported that the height and weight requirement were waived for a recruitment drive in Western Jamaica. However, it was later revealed that this was a miscommunication. Most of the young people interviewed were either unemployed or employed at a call center. 18-year-old Mauricia Luton was among the group of persons who was not selected based on qualifications. She has 3 CSEC and 1 certification from City and Guilds. I want to be an engineer and to go to school. It's going to take a lot of money. My family is not where they should be financially, so it would be like a stepping stone for me to supply my own self. I was thinking about being a soldier, but it's taking a while. So I wanted to apply here and anyone that works out. Being a police or soldier, them give you the opportunity to go and study or them teach you themselves. One day me have to be a soldier. That is my dream, to become an engineer in the army, said Luton, who graduated from Dunoon Park Technical High School and lives in Kingston. While disappointed with the rejection, Luton is confident that an opportunity will present itself so she can go back to school. We see a lot of persons get turned down today. If them not short, or if them not have enough CXC, or if them not have enough documents, them turn them down. Better if you have a trade and if you sit down with your CXC, because more while the trade can provide work for you in your yard. So if you're an engineer, you can get a 1 car from a friend for fix, and you get a little money from that. If you're a nail technician or hairdresser, it's good to have a trade, said Luton. 20-year-old Dane Gray, with 6 subjects and standing at 5 feet 11 inches, was confident and optimistic that he would get a call back. I've always wanted to see the country being better. I want to serve and protect, because too many persons are dying and things happening in the country. The job doesn't scare me because at some point in life, if I your time, I your time. And for a person saying police get less respect, it's how you do your duty. The respect will come to you from others based on how you carry forward your work, said Gray, who is currently employed at a call center in Kingston. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.